following video contains excessive status effects. Some viewers may find these scenes disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Plum here, g'day champions, how's it going, and welcome back to another Division 2 build video. That's right champions, I've been playing around with status effects again. And I've come up with this crazy status tank build for PvP. This is an amazing support build. It's got just about everything you could want in a support build. We've got self and team survivability, crowd control, and we're going to be nerfing other players while we buff our own team. I know, everyone hates status effects in PvP, including myself. But this isn't your typical 6 skill tier status bot build. This is a team support build that's actually fun to use. If used right, you can be really aggressive with your team gameplay. It's definitely not that sit at the back of the server and pray no one sees you kind of status build. Now cut and paste it if you want. If you want to tweak certain things, do that too. But whatever you do, make sure it fits you and your playstyle. Righto champs, before we get stuck in, welcome to all you beautiful creepy subscribers. If you aren't subscribed to the channel, pull your finger out and give that sub button a click. Also, make sure you hit the like button on this video because it does some weird sciencey shit in the background of the YouTube algorithm and actually helps the video pop up in searches. And in turn, that helps the channel grow. Let's keep it going, 10k subs, here we come. Any and all support is super appreciated. Righto champs, let's get stuck in and check out the build. 0 reds, 4 blues, 2 yellows, 1.5mil armor. For this loadout, I've gone with a mixed bag of lollies. We've got skill damage, status effect, regen, and hazard protection. If you want to change things up and play around with it and spec into just one attribute, go for it. The build consists of 2-piece Wyvernware, 2-piece Golem, 1 Bellstone, and 1-piece Yell. Survivalist is our specialization of choice. Our armor kit repairs over 5 seconds and also repairs group members within a 20 meter radius. I feel like Survivalist is a must-have on any support build. Also, our teammates are going to get 10% bonus damage to targets with a status effect. We don't have to be the one applying the status effect. But in this case, we're that guy. We're going to be spreading status effects to everything. Now for the guns, I've gone with the capacitor to increase our skill damage to up to 60%. And being as though this build has 2 skill tiers, that's like having 1 red roll on the build. But the Scorpio Shoddy works great on this build too, so if you want to run that, use that. For any status related builds, I feel like the Grudge is the best option as your secondary gun. Perfect Vindictive gives you and your team 18% crit hit chance and crit hit damage when you kill a status affected target. But to be honest, most of the time I'm going to be squiggling around with my pistol in my hand, and that's the TDI card. This pistol is going to give our build an extra skill tier. This will buff our skill damage and status effect damage and duration. The talent is Perpetuation. Headshots grant 50% status effect damage and duration to the next status effect you apply. Righto then, to the gear on the build. Wyvern Mask. We've got the 2-piece bonus active, so that's 10% skill damage and 10% status effect. Skill tier, max hazard, max status effect, and I've gone with a burn resistance mod. That way those full glass cannon skill status builds won't take us down. And I can actually set myself on fire just long enough to deal enough damage so I can spam armor kits to heal myself and my team. Which brings us to the chest piece, the name Bellstone Everyday Carrier. 1% regen, max armor, max hazard protection, max skill damage, and a burn resistance mod. Perfectly efficient. Fuck me, this is an insane talent paired with Survivalist. Using an armor kit has a 75% chance of not consuming it, and our specialization armor kit bonuses are increased by 100%, meaning this will repair 200% of our own and our teammates' armor. It's amazing for those big pushes and power play moments in the DZ. The holster is the second piece of Wyvern, skill tier, max status, and I'm working on a max hazard protection roll. The knee pads are Golem. We get the 10% status effect and 1% regen from our brand bonuses. Max armor, max skill damage, and max armor regen. Now if you've got them and you want to use them, the Emperor's Guard knees would work here too, but I feel like the rolls I've got on this one just work a little bit nicer. The gloves are Yell, 10% hazard from the brand bonus, near max armor and hazard protection, and it's got a max skill damage roll. And lastly, the backpack is Golem, max armor, regen, and status effect. And for the mod, I've gone with the skill haste one. The talent we want to be using here is Creeping Death. When you apply a status effect, it also applies to all enemies within an 8 meter radius of the target, and it's got a 15-second cooldown. Depending on what status effects you choose to run on the build, you're going to get varying results. Which brings us to our skills. Anything that applies a status effect is going to be your best bet on this build. But if you're going to choose skills that apply just the status effect and no damage, tweak the build, replace the skill damage with more status effect. I've played around with a few different skills and I reckon the fire starter's pretty key on this one. It doesn't do any crazy damage, but I feel it does just enough. Our burn duration is at nearly 8 seconds, and that increases to nearly 12 seconds when we proc Perpetuation. And the second skill I use is the EMP Sticky. 18.7 seconds duration, and with Perpetuation, that's just over 28 seconds. That's pretty insane. Spread that with Creeping Death and wow. Your opponents can't use their shield to proc in sync. No hives, no jammer pulses, no decoys, nothing. Slap them with this and then push hard. Have a play around with all the skills and see what works best for you and your team in the server you're fighting in. Heading over to the stat sheet, now our damage numbers we don't really care because we're a support status tank build. Heading down to our survivability, we've got just under 40k armor regen, which is very good. 59.4 hazard protection across the board. It's a nice place to be. But remember, we've got those burn resistance mods too. So that's just under 80% burn resistance. If we get set on fire, that's like one pew being singed. Then we can spam those armor kits and push forward and be aggressive with our gameplay. So that about covers everything. This is an aggressive status tank build that you and your team need for PvP. Like I mentioned, tweak the build to suit you. What do you reckon? Are you going to be a champion and try out this build? What modifications would you make? Let me know down below. Also, if you have some weird and wonderful build that the community isn't using, reach out to me, fill me in, and I can make a build video on it too. All the music on my channel is proudly brought to you by artlist.io. They're not a paid sponsor, it's just a website that I'm a member of, and their music is insanely good. It helps me and thousands of others create stunning videos with the best royalty-free music and sound effects. artlist.io. And that's it for me on this one, champs. Drop a comment below about whatever. Any feedback, build questions, suggestions, or ideas, you know I'm easy. Help yourself and the channel, make sure that you've hit that bell notification so you know every time I upload new content. So, did you like it? Then smash that like button, and if you didn't, you can press the dislike. But remember, to support me and the channel, hit that sub button and become a creepy subscriber. And I'll catch you all in the next one, champions. I'm Plum out.